Hi, I would like to share with you what I believe are 5 things that will change your life. These are things that I've been working on myself for the last few years, and I see a difference, I feel a difference, and it's just made a huge difference in my life. So anyway, let's get with it. These are the 5 things, and there are more, and we'll talk about more later, but basically these things are pretty darned amazing. Give them a try. First off is to know who you are. I know that sounds ridiculous, but so many times we grow up like we're in high school and middle school and we're trying to fit in. And so we just sort of like what everybody else likes, and it just sort of becomes our thing too, because from default, by default. And then we go on to college or go on to another type of thing or get a job, and we kind of blend in with our workmates or our college mates and kind of what's going on with them. And this happens to more of us than it should, I guess. It's very difficult to keep your individuality or to even learn what your individual preferences are when we are in such a society that people are kind of telling you what you should like with all the advertising, with all, social stuff. It's kind of like, well, you should be wearing this, you should be buying this, you should be eating this, you should be doing this, you should be vacationing here, and makes you feel a little bit less than if you don't, and you want to be part of everything, and it sounds so great that so you decide to love those too. Well, there comes a time when you really kind of feel a little emptiness from that, because you're not really speaking to who you truly are and what really does it for you and your soul. You know what I mean? And it's kind of hard to even, it's quite difficult actually to sit down and go, well, what is it that I really want? What makes me tick? What, everyone else is loving that thing, and that thing's pretty cool. I tried it too, but is that really what I want to do? Is that really me? Is everything inside me say that that's the right choice? So I reached this point probably later in life than I wish I had. Actually, definitely later in life than I wish I had. But I'm definitely more in the doing what I like phase, and buying the items that I like, and decorating things the way I like, or you know what I'm saying? It's you have to choose and learn, and it takes time. You have to decide, what is your character? Who are you? What do you stand for? Like in your office space, everyone's gossiping about someone, and you feel really stupid if you don't join in, but you don't really feel the same way about that person. You don't want to add negativity to the world, so you don't really want to, it's that kind of a thing where that's difficult when you're living day in and day out with these people that you either live with or you work with or whatever, but you don't want to join in the bandwagon because it doesn't speak to really who you are. It's hard, it's difficult, but figure out what it is you stand for, whether you want to believe in those things, whether you want to support and bring people happiness, even if it's against the norm in the, with the people that you're talking about. Also, I think it's highly important to learn whether you're an introvert or an extrovert or somewhere in between, because it's not just black and white like that. I have learned over the years, and it seems strange because here I am talking to the world and loving every minute of it, that I am more of an extrovert. No, figure that. I am more of an introvert than I am an extrovert. If I had to choose between being all one or all other, I would have to choose being more of an introvert. I am not happy surrounded by cacophony and people, and I'm not a real good big like party goer. I wasn't big on going to clubs or anything. When I was dating, I was definitely I'm more of a quiet type of a person who, I love silence. I love silence. When I'm alone in the house, there isn't a radio on, there isn't a TV on, I'm not listening to music, whatever. A lot of times I just want a good hour of silence. Ah, gosh. It took a while for me to get used to that, but it's amazing. And I also had to try to learn what my style was. My style isn't the same as everyone else's style. I don't tend to like the same colors the majority of the women that I know like. Things just don't speak to me the same way. I'm not real blingy, I don't really want things encrusted in sparkles, it's just not me. And I know that's a lot of people feel that they do love that, and that's fine, because then they know who they are. But it's weird when you feel like, but I don't really like sparkly pink things, and I know I feel like I should, but I don't. Does that make me weird? No, it doesn't make you weird. It makes you you. And so just learn to know what it is that speaks to you. You love those things. you don't care as much for the other things, that's fine. Just focus on who you are and what speaks to you. So, long story short, know your style, what's your character, what do you stand for, whether it's like everybody else or not, doesn't matter. Know who you are. So once you know who you are and you know what you stand for, people can put you down, people can think you're crazy, people can, you know, say nasty comments about you if you're on YouTube, whatever it is, it doesn't even bother you anymore. I mean, it would, some of the comments that I've gotten since I started YouTube would have just really hurt so much more years ago. But now that I know who I am and I'm fine with that, and I know my flaws, oh boy, once you know your flaws, you know exactly what you've got, what your problems are, and you're working on them and so forth, and someone brings them up to you, it doesn't even hurt, because you're like, yep, you're right, I do have that, and I understand completely, and yeah, it bugs me too, I'm working on it. Doesn't even bother you. So that's very important, to know who you are. Number 2, stop judging. Learn acceptance. This has been something I've worked very hard on, and I'm making myself, you know, I made myself do better, and now I'm to the point where I'm pretty darn proud that I am very non-judgy now. I used to be so much more judgy. Gosh, people are the way they are because of what they've been through. All their experiences made them be and do and say and dress and feel the way they, you know, are. We can't judge how we would be if we went through those exact same experiences. How would you know how you would have handled that? You don't. Everybody on this planet, in my belief, is exactly who they are and where they should be at this moment in time. They are going through their stuff. They are learning through the mistakes they're making. That's how we grow. So, you know, if someone's wearing something stupid or that you feel is stupid, they're fine. You know, let them be. Who cares? You know, in this grand scheme of life, who cares? So just focus on yourself. If someone out there does something weird, just in your first instinct, this is what I had to learn. My first instinct is to think, ew, that's not me. It doesn't matter. Some of my very best friends in this world are completely different than me. But somehow we just gel on a deeper level because we get each other, and I allow them to be who they are completely, and I honor that. And they allow me to be completely who I am, and they honor that. We don't have to be the same and love the same things and think everything is the same, beautiful, wise, or whatever. It makes it interesting to not. And I totally understand where they're coming from because that's not them. And I think that's just, to me, that makes for a much more a special friendship when you get who the other person is because of who they are and what they went through, and they get you for who you are and what you like and what you've gone through, and you love each other anyway. You know what I mean? Because of it even. So yes, stop judging. Stop judging yourself as well. That's very important. Self-acceptance, self-love. You need to know who you are and know what your faults and problems are, and work on them in your own way, in your own time, the best you can. But admit you have them, know you have them, agree to work on them, and let it go. Don't think, oh, I'm so awful because or man, I'm a bad person. You're not. You're just going through stuff that you're supposed to go through to learn to be the person you're meant to be. That's all there is to it. End of story. Stop judging yourself. And when it comes to other people too, focus on yourself. You know what I mean? It's like, don't give others the time of day to judge them, you know? Give them all the time you can to love them and to support them and to make, build them up and make them feel good about whatever their choice is, because in all honesty, it's their choice. And they feel good about it or they wouldn't have chosen it. And if you are a caring person, then build them up. Build them up. It's not going to hurt you at all. There's enough sunshine in this world for all of us. They're not going to steal your sun, and that's all there is to it. So basically focus on yourself and let them focus on themselves, and it's all good. So stopping judging people has made such a huge, I don't know, it's a peacefulness, I think, that I feel has come within me more. I'm just much more peaceful, and I'm open to loving them more. Like when I meet people now more, like in the last 5 years, I've gotten so much better at this. I learn who they are as their inside self, who they really are. I don't judge them by, you know, oh, what they're wearing, or oh my gosh, they must be this, or because they're wearing that, or they must not be stuff. It doesn't even matter. That stuff just gets in the way. That's the crunchy coating on the top. To break that crunchy coating off, get inside there to the gooey innards, and where it's all soft and wonderful, and that's when you really get to know people. So there's that. Stop judging and learn acceptance. That's really helped me a lot. Now, the next thing is to focus on positive. I'm a true believer that what you constantly think about, what you focus on, you get more of. And I just truly, truly believe that. I do, and I've seen it work magic in my life, to be honest with you. So if you constantly are thinking about how, you know, oh, I'm so fat. Oh my God, I'm fat. I have 18 chins. It's driving me nuts. Why am I eating that? Whatever, because I'm so fat. Stop. Stop. You're focusing on the fact that you're fat, or you think you're fat, or whatever that is. It's a negative thought. And guess what you're going to get more of? You're going to get more of thinking you're fat. Okay? So try to find that thing about your body, or about yourself, or about whatever your faults are. Try to find that some parts that you really do appreciate, or that you really do love. And then you focus on those. You know, I tend to really like from my knees to my down. I think my, you know, the bottom, my calves are one of the better parts of me. I really like them. I'm happy with them. I'm content to show the world my calves, okay? It's just one of those things about me. I'm good with it. Are they perfect? No. Would I like to change them if I had the opportunity? Maybe a little bit. I'd change a few things. But no, for what I've got to work with, that's one of the areas I really like. So I'm focusing on that. I will make outfits, you know, show that part of me or whatever. And I won't focus on the fact that I can't stand my arms or whatever. You know, I mean, what you focus on makes you happier if you're focusing on the positive. And then you get more positive feelings back. So, and then going along with that, people in your life can be such positivity drains. Certain people just have negative vibes. They're constantly complaining. Everything's wrong. Everything hurts. Everything's bad. You know, if you say that you have a headache, oh, they have a worse one. Everyone knows those type of people. And you want to help them. You want to love them. You want to agree. Okay, yeah, I'm so sorry. You know, that kind of thing. But after a while, that's hard. It really gets hard because it drains your energy. It takes your energy down 5 levels, you know, and you need to keep your energy up to the, like this one person, I can't think of her name right now, it calls love or above. Keep your energy up there in that realm. That's where all the beauty and all the magic in this world happens. It just happens in those higher energy planes, so to speak. When you're down and other people, you allow others to bring you down, you just get more down. And that's all there is to it. It just seems to be, that's just the way it works in my world anyway. And for many, many thousands of other people too, but you know, that's what I believe. So yeah, try to rid yourself as much as you can of the negative people in your life. Try to either come up with, if it's someone that sits next to you at work and you just cannot avoid them, try to find some sort of a statement that you can say to them every time they start in on their complaining litany. You know, the minute they're like, oh, my weekend was awful, all I did was this, whatever, just be like, oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Maybe next one will be better. Or, you know, whatever you can do, and then just try to shut it down. And, you know, something that gets them to understand that, okay, enough, thank you, but I'm so sorry, enough. And that does tend to help. If you can, you know, if you have a neighbor that's driving you bananas, just sort of start slowly backing away and doing less things with that person. And, you know, maybe that's a good way to rid yourself of some negativity, depending on the person and depending on the relationship. So anyway, do your best with that. Block it. Block it. If you can't get rid of it physically, any of those people that have all that negative stuff, somehow find a way to just put up your little bubble. You know, everyone can manufacture their own little bubble. So get your bubble out and get in there. And then number 4, get clear on your goals. Now they have to be your goals. So you learned who you are, you know your faults, your weaknesses, your whatever. What is the thing that in a perfect world, money no object, time no object, whatever, you could do? What is that thing that just speaks to you and you're excited and you could just wake up every morning going, oh my gosh, I'm so happy I get to do this today. What is that thing? Figure out what that is for you. This takes time. This isn't something you can, you know, unless you've had a certain item or thing that you've always wanted to do your whole life, which many people don't. I still don't know what I want to be when I grow up. So, you know, many people don't. But if you have that goal, or if you don't have that goal, find it, figure it out, work on it, and then write it down. Focus on it. Get clear, like details clear, not just vaguely, I want to be happy. I want to make more money. You know, I want to lose weight and, you know, just have this perfect body. Well, yeah, we all do. But you kind of have to get more clear on it and see it, visualize it, look at it, bring out pictures of you when you were the size you want to be, bring out pictures of like the area maybe you would like to live in someday when you have a certain amount of money. Focus on it, feel the joy from knowing that someday you're going to have that. Live in that level of joy, that that's already going to happen to you, and get clear on what it is and focus on that. The good part, not all the problems you have to get rid of to get to that point. Focus on the end result, and things just will start falling into place, and you'll find a way there. And I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. It sounds hokey, but there you go. It's true. It works. Do it. And then number 5, I truly believe this is one of the most important. I cannot stress enough how this changes people. And just try it. Try it for the smallest amount of time. I mean, it just works, and that is gratitude. I know you've heard it 1,000 times before, but there's a reason you've heard it 1,000 times before, because it really, really works. When you constantly are, you know, every day, just have it just a plain old notebook, whatever, just a piece of paper, anything, and just each day start small. Start writing down one thing each day before you go to bed. Have it by your bed, whatever you do, a pencil and piece of paper. Make yourself write down one thing that you're grateful for, if that's all you can muster. Even if it's the fact that your toenail doesn't hurt today. I'm grateful my toenail doesn't hurt today. If that's all you got, write it down. Seriously. And if you want to continue going and you write down, you know, my other toenail doesn't hurt today either, and my kneecap doesn't hurt. What? I'm being ridiculous, but you know what I mean. Find anything if you really feel like things are so bad that, you know, you can't come up with something more wonderful that has happened to you that day or in your life. But start writing down as many times as you can, as many times during the day as you can muster, what you are grateful for. And it can be the same things over and over. You know, I'm grateful for my family. That's something that I've written down every single time I've done this. That's like one of the very first things I write. And I just sort of write maybe 3, 4, 5 things I'm grateful for that day every single night before I go to bed. And the act of writing it instead of just thinking it, the act of writing it really kind of makes it sink in a little bit better. There's something about that hand to brain, you know, on paper kind of a thing. Plus you can go back and read it, which I really enjoy doing that after a while. I have a bunch of them, and I'll go back and I'll read what I was grateful for 3 months ago, and I'll be like, oh yeah, I remember. I'm so grateful that happened. That was so nice when she did that, and blah, blah, blah. You know, and it would have just escaped my brain otherwise. So then you get to relive that wonderful thing. So yeah, writing them down is very important. But most of all, it then makes you focus on all the good things. Because when you're used to having to write down the things you're happy for and the things you're grateful for, then as things pop up throughout your day, you think, oh, this is a good one. I'm gonna write this down tonight. So it helps you really focus on those good things. And again, what you focus on, you get more of. So it's always better to focus on the good things. So yeah, those for me personally, I'm no, you know, life guru or anything, but for me personally, those 5 things, and I say there's many more, but those 5 things in particular, if you work on them, and it can take time, give yourself the time, allow yourself the time, the work. It takes work. It takes work. If you're a judgmental person, and I'm not saying I wasn't, so, you know, it's not easy sometimes when your first instinct, because maybe you grew up with a mother who was constantly like, oh, look at her, oh my gosh, don't play with her because her mother, blah, blah, blah. You know, people have ways that they grew up, you know, but learn to think for yourself and learn to stop yourself the minute you start thinking something judgmental. Just stop it, you know, and then think something good about that person, and then think the reason they're the way they are is because of what they've been through, whatever you need to do. So it takes work, it's worth it, it makes huge changes in your life, and I really can't tell you enough how much this has helped me and changed me throughout the last few years. So Anyway, it's just my 2 cents. Just thought I'd share it with you. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'm sure I'll see you again real soon. Bye.